Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today I've got an awful lot more information for you about Princess EZAir, along with something I want to correct and apologize for. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members here. Thank you so very much. And also a big welcome to all of you who are new. We are really glad that you have found us, and we hope you stay because we have been waiting for you. So thank you. So first of all, right before this one, I did another video all about Princess EZAir, and I gave you directions on what to do if your flight got canceled. The directions that I gave you were based on what a Princess rep told me when I called her at the main Princess number and asked what we were supposed to do, what she suggested I do if my flight was canceled on our way to Florida for our cruise that's January 16th. So she is the one that gave me the phone number that ends in the 0008, and I took her at her word, and I have learned not to do that again. And so you know what, take that phone number out of your phone. I got a comment from one of our Let's Go family members, and he had tried using that phone number as his flight was canceled, and he was trying to get through to Princess and couldn't get through on the main number, so he thought that number would help because that's what I had been told. He had a really hard time getting through, and so when he finally got through, they didn't have any idea on how to help with a Princess flight, anything with EZAir, and so that's not a valid phone number for that. The lesson that I learned in this process is to try calling, and so once I read his comment, I did try calling, and I couldn't get through for a long time, and that doesn't mean that, well, for a long time the phone system wouldn't let me through, and so finally when I got through, same thing happened. They are not in charge of Princess EZAir, so that's not a good phone number, and I apologize. And so the other thing, so today I actually called Princess again, but it was before I had gotten this message, this comment from one of our family members, and so I did not call back to talk to Princess about that because, for one thing, they're closed as of noon during the holidays here. And so anyway, what I called to ask today is if you have a flight that is scheduled with Princess EZAir and it is canceled, and you are able to pick up a flight otherwise, like for example, ours is on Delta, but if you are able to book a flight with another airline to take the place of your canceled one, and it's like with Allegiant or Southwest or like American, which are airlines that Princess EZAir has not contracted with, you just have to pay for that flight. And then you can call Princess EZAir and try to get your money back. And quite frankly, I don't know if you're going to get your money back or not, because the agent on the phone didn't know if you were going to get your money back or not. She thought that maybe you would since you didn't take that flight, but at the same time, she wasn't sure. And I asked who I would ask to find out for sure, and she didn't know. And so just a heads up about that. And I'm sorry that I cannot give you better information than that, but that is all there is out there. And so if you can afford it and you can't get through to Princess, I would suggest buy a ticket and go on your cruise. Take a flight that's going, and hopefully you'll get your money back, but I can't promise that you will. And so I asked her, actually, in the course of the phone call, I said to her, I said, well, what are we supposed to do, you know, if we have to pay extra for the other flight and you don't know if you're going to get our money back? And she says, well, just call Princess. And I said, well, what if the wait's an hour and a half like it's been while I've been waiting for you today? And she said, well, I know, just keep trying and maybe you can chat. And so right as she's talking to me, I am pulling up just on my phone the website just in Safari on my iPhone, and I'm like trying to chat. Nothing's coming up to be able to chat, and she didn't have anything to say about that. And so Princess, love you to pieces, but this little part of the system isn't going really well. And to all my dear followers, I am really sorry that I can't give you a better answer on that. If I hear anything else, I will let you know. If any of you are having any experiences with this at all, if you could put it in the comments, we would all love to hear, and hopefully it will help all of us know better what to do. So, having said that, I wanted to let you know a few other things about Princess EZAir that I didn't cover the other day that I think will be really handy for you to know. And by the way, just because I'm a little displeased with that part of the system. Doesn't mean that I think that Princess EZAir is bad. It doesn't mean that I don't think you should ever use it. I just think you should be aware. And so the first thing that I wanted to tell you is that often we will book our flights with EZAir because they're cheaper. And like I said, the information just automatically goes into your information in the Princess system, so they know when to expect you. Sometimes though, we have just booked our flights separate because they've been a lot cheaper, or we've had airline miles that we've wanted to use. Every time that we have tried to use some of our miles or one of our companion tickets to do that, it's never been possible to do that through Princess EZAir. So I think using Princess EZAir, from our experience, you just have to pay for it with your money. And so whenever we've wanted to do it another way, we just go ahead and book the flights. And then once you log into your princess.com account, if you know how you up there at the account, up at the top it says my account, and you click on that, and then there's a drop down menu. Well, just click on your upcoming cruises, and then that brings up, a list of all your cruises. And on the cruise that you want to enter your flight information for, just click on that little manage this booking, I think is what it says. Click on that, and then it'll bring you to another window. And across the top it has those different headings, and one of them says travel. So click on that, and then you go ahead and scroll down, and let's maybe like halfway down the page, and it says provide your independent air information, and there's a little select button over on the right hand side. Just click on that, and then it opens up a window so that you can add all of your travel information, and that way it gets submitted to Princess, and that way they know what flight you're on, so that they know when to expect you, and they also know what flight to look at if it's getting close to sail away time and you're not there. They keep track of where everyone is. And so just to let you know, it's no problem at all to do that. One of our great Let's Go family members mentioned that she got a gift card from Southwest as a gift. And so like she could book her flights on Southwest and then just enter that information. So I just wanted you to know, it's no problem to not book with Princess EZAir. It's no problem at all. And so I also wanted to let you know, let's see, what's the next thing? Oh, let me tell you. So there are some perks and why it's like sometimes a good idea to book with Princess EZAir. And one of the main ones that they so frequently tout is that if you are late arriving, that they will either wait for you, and that would be, honestly, we've been on a couple of cruises twice now where there were a whole bunch of people on a couple of delayed flights, and it worked out okay that we could wait a couple of hours and just leave late. It happened from Rome one time, and it happened from, where were we? I think it was maybe out of Copenhagen. But anyway, 2 times it happened, and so they waited, I think it was 2 hours, and we were able to get a whole bunch more people on the ship, and away we went. And so that's a good thing, because you're more likely to be with a large group of people who are passengers and going to sail. But the part that I wanted to let you be aware of is the fact that if you are delayed enough and they leave without you, that they will help you get to the next port. And I wanted to let you know that they say that there are some restrictions that will kind of vary, like maybe what port they can get you to. And just a heads up, if you are late coming in, say, that when we go to Fort Lauderdale, we're late getting there, and so they try to fly us to the Bahamas, we'll have to pay for that ticket. That's not included. And so I just wanted to let you know that. And so they say that some of the things that can determine whether or not they can get you into the very next port, it has to do with visas. If you need a visa to go there, because you would need a visa to enter through an airport as compared to entering through a cruise ship. One port that comes to my mind that I know is that way is like St. Petersburg, Russia. If you're going to fly into Russia, you have to have a visa. But if you are coming on a cruise ship, there's a couple of, if you're coming on a cruise ship and you stay on a cruise ship excursion, you do not have to have a visa. And also when you're going into St. Petersburg, if you come on a cruise ship and you sign up with one of their, what do they call them? They're not official tour guides, but they have to register there to be tour guides. Then they can take your information, and if you stay with them the whole time, then you don't have to have a visa. That's what we did when we went to St. Petersburg. And so that just struck me as one of those places. It would be hard to fly someone into St. Petersburg if they didn't have a visa. So that's going to be one of the restrictions. And then also if they've got an airport where you're trying to go, and then you get to decide if you think the ticket would be too much more. And then it says where in the original itinerary this port is located. And so I think that there are several things that you're just going to have to kind of play by ear. Unfortunately, I don't think that this happens a whole lot. I know that I'm a little bit more concerned about it, and probably all of us are, with what is going on right now with flights being canceled across the whole world right now. But usually I don't think it is such a big problem. And so I'm not going to never use Princess EZAir again. I'm not going to cancel my ticket with them or anything like that. I just want everybody to know kind of where they sit and what to expect and how to try to get help. So that is one of the things that's really nice if you use Princess EZAir, and along with the fact that you can be able to save a little money often on the tickets, and you have a little bit more flexibility. And because with their flexible flights, you have up to 45 days to make any changes that you want. And so and if you have a restricted ticket, once you buy it, you can't make changes. But those are just some reasons that it's nice to use the Princess EZAir. Now, another thing though that I want to tell you is that once you book your flight with Princess EZAir, they do not automatically link you into your flight rewards program. And so I'm just going to use Delta as an example because that's what we usually fly. It turns out that where we go to visit our children, that's the best airline for nonstop tickets there. And to a lot of places that we have traveled internationally, they have good partners. I like the airlines that they partner with, and we've had a really good experience. That's why we use Delta a lot. But let me tell you, once you book your flight through Princess EZAir, you can see it in your booking information on princess.com under your account, but they also send you an email. And in that, you have got your booking number. And so what we always do is we log into our Delta account that shows, it's got our Sky Miles and what our priority sits at. And so we look in there, and then you have to look for your flight number. It'll has a thing like that says find a flight or find a booking. But anyway, look for it using that flight number that the Princess EZAir gives you, your reservation number, and it will pull it up. And then you can just link it to your rewards program. And that's really nice because then you get the credit of the miles for flying on that, and also whatever your loyalty level is with whichever airline you're looking at, it also attaches to that. And so what we kind of like is with Delta, when we log in, usually if you just look at your reservation, through the Princess EZAir, like if you want a better seat, sometimes you have to pay $20. But usually when we attach it to our record in Delta, we can change seats and it doesn't cost extra. We can't change to first class. Sometimes we get upgraded to first class occasionally, but you can often select a different seat just because of what your loyalty level is, and then you don't have to pay the extra that you would have to pay for that seat through Princess EZAir. Does that make sense? And then the really nice thing is it also links we don't have to pay if we want to check bags. And so it just grabs all of that and adds it to your Princess EZAir reservation. And so just kind of keep that in mind. And that kind of goes along with the thing of even if you're using a travel agent to book your Princess EZAir flight, or you just do it yourself through Princess EZAir, you really have to keep an eye on your flight times, and you have to keep an eye if they change something and your seat gets deleted. Sometimes funny things happen, and so really keep an eye on that so that you don't arrive at the airport and have a surprise, and so that you know exactly when you're going, you really do have the seats that you think you have. And so just keep an eye on all of that. I think that works really good. And then also I wanted to add, one of our great Let's Go family members put in a reminder in the comments to never fly in the day that you're going to cruise. Just don't. Because a million funny things can happen. Even if you think, oh, it's a short flight or anything at all, fly in the day before. We just are always flying in a day before. So when we go Our sail away time out of Fort Lauderdale is, you know what, I think it's at 4 o'clock. It's either at 4 or 6. I'll let you know as it gets closer. But we are coming in the afternoon before so that we have got plenty of time. If we've got a canceled flight, we've got time to get there. We've got all overnight and the first part of the day. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. But I just wanted to let you know, don't ever come the day before. And like, I would even warn you, don't think you're going to drive very far on the day of. You're not going to want to have an 8-hour drive and then plan to get on a cruise ship if you really can help it, because you never know if there's going to be construction or an accident and things get held up. And so just kind of keep that in mind. Now, if you have any questions about all of this, don't hesitate to ask, because I know it's a lot to think about. And I know that, like I said, we're all a little bit more worried about flights getting canceled right now. Usually I'm not worried about that. And so just kind of, I'm really hoping that as the CDC, maybe you noticed in the last couple of days, they've changed the requirements. They used to say that you had to be quarantined for 10 days. Now they say if you're fully vaccinated, you can be quarantined for 5 days. You just have to, and as long as you aren't having any symptoms, then your quarantine can end, and you just need to wear a mask once you go back to work. But hopefully just some changes in these protocols will make it so that flight crews and the pilots and everybody will be able to work, and it will help smooth out some of this and we won't have so many cancellations. So I wish you all the very best as you try to cruise in the new future, and really always, because this is supposed to be an enjoyable experience, not a stressful one. I really appreciate you all watching. Like I said, if I missed anything or you've got any questions, don't hesitate to put it in the comments below, and really be as willing as you would be to share your experiences. That would be wonderful, because that really helps all of us. A lot of people, I think, read through the comments. Of course, I read them all and I try to reply to everyone, and so it really helps a lot of people know what to do and what to expect. And a big thank you to our Let's Go family member Jeff, who put that comment there and let us know. And and you know what, from now on, even if it's a phone number that you're only supposed to call the day of travel, I'm calling them before I tell you the number. So please accept my apology. I really appreciate you all. If you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love to have you in our Let's Go family. And I think you'll enjoy being here, and you'll appreciate how we keep you up to date on everything that's going on with cruising and what's going on with Princess. And we're going to try to get some more cruise lines included in that. We've got some amazing people here with Holland America and with Celebrity and Carnival. We've just got everybody here, and it's wonderful to be together. And so if you appreciate this video, will you please give it a thumbs up? I would really appreciate that too. Thank you very much. I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.